frontier is defined as uncharted territory.
It basically got out of its natural balance.
By land or ocean. Those who chart that territory tell a story. The past illustrates the blueprint for the present, how things are and how they've evolved. From land to water, we are challenged to border that new frontier, a frontier the outdoorsman knows like no other. Author Gary Lewis works his way along that edge of where discoveries, failures, and achievements have written the story of the sportsman. From state to state, continent to continent, the stories told create the foundation of the present, and they lay the framework for the future. Through the muzzle fire and on the stone are stories from the edge.
Water is the most important thing as far as Indians are concerned, 'cause that's life.
The past is written, the present is here, and this is Frontier Unlimited.
Comparing my fly that Alicia tied for me to the real thing, and he took a likeness to me.
Well, I floated it through this foam line there, and boom, his fish just came up and grabbed it.
We are here for thousands of years, 3 tribes between the mountains, beside the river. We are here for thousands of years, 3 tribes between the mountains, beside the river.
With our water is to us is more important than any fish or any life on this world, because without our water, we don't have no survival. It's life. And us Native Americans, we respect it. We cherish our water. We show and teach our children what we're about from our water. It's our fish, it's our way of life, all the way from the Columbia, from the ocean, to all these small creeks and streams. I grew up fishing on the Columbia, and here on the Deschutes, I've learned ways of fishing the traditional methods of using dip nets on scaffolds. And I probably fished like that for about 35 years of my life, and then one day I saw a few shows about fly fishing, and that sparked my interest, so I challenged myself to do it. I never went to any schools, picked up a whole bunch of different books, and just kind of self-taught myself, and here I am today.
So many. It was like it's been the best in probably a good 3-4 years.
We're talking the steelhead?
Yeah.
Yes, our steelhead runs has been getting a little bit better this year. A lot of it is from the flow that the dam is releasing into the water, and it's keeping it more stable. The previous years we have problems with algae, low water temperature, and drought conditions. And this year was a lot better. We had way more numbers in fish and a lot more juvenile trout you could see in the water.
Christy, here's a couple bugs to look at here. Those are the bugs, and they're very benign.
I have a fly that looks like that Alicia made me. It will replicate that hatch. Alicia made this fly for me this morning, and this is the first fly she's ever tied. So it looks like these bugs here. What are these called, Gary?
These are salmon flies.
Salmon flies. It looks just like them. So hopefully I will be able to catch my first fish on a fly rod with Elk's wife, Alicia's first fly.
Elk had showed me how to tie those flies, and he said that they sit more buoyant on the water as opposed to the basic chubby Chernobyl fly.
Right here.
It landed on
right
me.
There.
My friends. I'm making friends. I'm saving that one for later so that I can catch a fish with it. Well, what happened is I was over here comparing my fly that Alicia tied for me to the real thing, and he took a likeness to me.
Yeah, I like these legs. I just got them not too long ago, like a week ago, and they're a little more stiffer than the regular legs. So when the fly's in the water, it's gonna be able to stay upright more.
So these are a dry fly, so the whole concept is to keep them dry and just touch the surface of the water, and the fish will then jump and bite it. And objectively, I would set the hook and catch the fish at that point.
That's right, that's the idea.
I hope I get a lot of practice in today because I might need it.
We kind of plan on making flies and training some tribal members to put them together so we could create some more job opportunities around here.
That's a great idea.
I think it's like a 60% unemployment.
I'm gonna practice on the bank here a few casts because I'm not what you would call a fly fisherman.
A minute ago, the fly was kind of sinking.
Yes.
So what I did is just kind of false casted it a little bit.
Dried it off.
Dried it off, and then if it doesn't set in the water right, just pick it back up and just be ready.
I don't have to throw it way out there. I was imagining really having to like get a lot of extra line and sail it out there.
It's going to be more what we call combat fishing. So you're going to be going between a lot of trees and bushes, and we're going to be concentrating shaded areas all along the banks. And then there's this seam that's about 15-20 foot out, and all the food floats down there.
Why do you call it combat fishing?
Because you're going through the brush.
We are here. For thousands of years, 3 tribes between the mountains, beside the river. Wascos, Warm Springs, Northern Paiutes.
I'm going to start with Alicia's fly today.
Kind of pull your string and it feeds it through.
Look at, oh, that bird tried to catch it. They did it again.
Combat fishing, very unique process here on our river. It's not going to be an open cast where you're going to expect yourself to get 50, 80 foot casts.
I have a feeling that might potentially happen more than once today.
I doubt it. Okay, so see that? The fly is floating down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, a fish is gonna come up and grab that. Your job is as soon as the fish grabs it, pop, hit them like that.
Okay.
Okay, just boom. Now. Now. I got a little foam salmon fly pattern here. It could even double as a grasshopper if we wanted it to. But it's got some iridescent dubbing on it. I'm just coating the legs and the hackle and the wing and the body with floatant right now, and that thing will float a little bit better till the fish start grabbing it.
We're going to have some wind, so we're going to make some grounds by paddling backwards because these Pavati boats, they have a nice rear on them that just courses right down the river. I belong to the Warm Springs and Wasco tribe, which is here. That's my descendants from. And there's 3 tribes here, Warm Springs, Wasco, and Paiute. And my wife is Warm Springs and Wasco also.
I love this here. It just reminds me of standing out in this water and swinging flies down along the seam, because the fish will stack up there where at the transition of the fast to the slow water and the kind of bouldery sweetness. Big rainbow, just ate a bug right there. Mouth of the Warm Springs River right here, and it's sanctuary, it's spawning habitat for salmon and steelhead. And the big rainbows that'll be up there in the shallows right now.
They closed off the Warm Springs River for spawning for the salmon and steelhead and the big rainbow trout. Only tribal members could fish it, sadly, but they used to open it up about 20 years ago. And it was trout heaven.
I used to fish it with grasshoppers when we used to stay at Canida. The water flows this year, what's different? What are you seeing different from last year?
I see that it's a lot more higher than the previous years, which is way better. It slows the growth of the algae down, because the lower it gets, the more algae we get. It depleted some insect species, 3 of them, and it made all the swallows disappear. Now you could look up and down the river and you see swallows everywhere.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of birds.
We haven't seen them in almost 2 years. And it just makes it really, really good that they're out here about. And nature's kind of getting a good balance again. Which makes more fish.
I floated it through this little foam line there, and boom, this fish just came up and grabbed it.
We are here for thousands of years, 3 tribes between the mountains, beside the river. Wascos, Warm Springs, Northern Paiutes.
We're getting ready to land here on this little island part, and we're going to work the inside seam area. It's a really neat spot. There's some fallen trees in the end, so there's a lot of big bows that like to hide behind and ambush some flies. Teaching was something that I kind of learned for myself, and I just focused all my knowledge and everything and try to explain it the best I can to our newbies.
We're looking for big red bands that have pulled up into the shallows here. Looking to eat these big bugs, these salmon flies and the golden stones. Red band is a rainbow trout that is indigenous to this area, so it's the native rainbow for the Deschutes, for this watershed. So it's a real unique fish. I floated it through this little foam line there, and boom, this fish just came up and grabbed it.
One of Gary's flies here, little eyeballs on it.
Thank you. See that little foam line right there? That's a good spot because the water brings the feed into that spot, so you can look for foam and cast into foam. And a lot of times there'll be a fish under it watching for bugs.
As there was.
As there was. Getting her casting down. She's connected, she's getting it. He took it right at the end of the drift. It's a nice fish though. It's a good solid fish. Nice one, huh? Pretty, pretty, pretty. Caught it on the same fly. That's what this is. It's got distinctive markings right behind the head.
We are here for thousands of years, 3 tribes between the mountains, beside the river. Wascos, Warm Springs, Northern Paiutes.
You notice how it skates compared to like Chernobyls? They don't really skate, so I made a little fat foam head on it, so at the end of a drift, it's perfect. It'll imitate like it's trying to get back to the shoreline.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad Gary's caught a couple fish. He's the experienced one here. I'm here to learn, and my goal today is to catch one by the end of the day.
You bet.
And I'm getting better at each cast, and that's what's important.
Nobody home there.
Nobody home.
Another spot.
I had a couple misses where I had fish bite and I dropped the ball.
We live each day as it comes, when it comes, according to the things of the earth.
talk about this dry fly fishing down here, we call it the salmon fly hatch. But there's really two bugs. There's the salmon fly. That's what this is. It's got distinctive markings right behind the head, and there's a strong orange component to it. Then there's the golden stone, more gold brown in color, but they're both big bugs. They are here in abundance. When you get to a certain spot on the river, there might be more golden stones in one spot and more salmon flies in another spot. So when you get out of the boat, take a look at what's in the grass there, because that's what the fish are most used to seeing.
Salmon fly is a really special bug, very old, been around for eons. And the Indians, you know, they always looked at the salmon fly as a sign of the fish. The salmon were coming up the rivers, the Stillhead, so that was a big sign. And I knew that was going to be a good year for all the salmon, just trout, healthy year. Well, me and my wife were in the process of getting a fly fishing club for our youth, and what we want to do is reach it out to other reservations where all the tribes, you know, they could intermingle and learn each other's customs, and go back and forth. And this will be something good for our children to get into, because, you know, it's some part of nature, and everybody has something that, you know, they could understand about and learn together.
I had a fish grab real close here, and I gave him a few more opportunities, and then I cast just about 6-7 feet farther out and got a grab.
There you go, got him. Oh, that was it too.
Yeah, well, I just got the line home. I wasn't ready.
He might go again. That's okay.
I struck out. It's such an art.
Let me give it 5 minutes before I walk in there. Oh, man, he's just jumping. Let's see if we can get him back in here. Nice fish. Oh, yeah. Very nice. My favorite lipstick. When you try to time the salmon fly hatch, you may not get it right. It's different every year. It's gonna happen in May, but you never know. I mean, the thing is, you just gotta plan it and go, and then enjoy it for what it gives you that day. And this day, it's given us a few grabs on the surface, which is all you can ask for. She might have one on down there. She's talking loud, or she was there for a second, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a game of chess, because you got factors of, you know, how to cast, you got factors of if there's going to be wind, you got to have factors of knowing where the fish is going to be.
I had to use archery techniques to catch this fish. We hunted it literally.
I had the opportunity to show her the bow and arrow cast, which was very handy because that day we went out, it was very windy, so that bow and arrow cast got her and her fish.
I hunted this fish like I would a deer. I snuck in behind the bush and flipped my line in the water, and when the fish bit, I just pulled and set the hook.
Good job, Kristen.
Yes, thank you. That was perfect. Behind the grass, and I just bent this back, and then I just flung it out there.
So it was the bow and arrow cast.
It was the bow and
Why
arrow
didn't we
cast.
think about that?
It was perfect. That's my new best friend. Because I'm not good at fly fishing, but I can fling the fly out there with the bow and arrow cast.
I knew that if we came out here, she would take to this quickly, because She's a hunter, and that's what this is. Here. Ooh, that's a fish. That's pretty. Pretty. Oh man, I saw some little ones rising here. And what they're doing is they're eating some little mayflies. I see these little mayflies floating by just by the hundreds. And that's what these fish were eating, but that fish was eating golden stones.
Salmon flies were not popular, and I'd have my little fly going by the fish, and they would be surfacing everywhere around my fly. Like, I see you.
There. Back into the water. Okay, I'll probably catch another one, same spot. I got that fish right up there next to that tree hanging in the water right there. Just when I thought he wasn't going to bite, he took it.
Fly fishing is very similar to hunting. I feel like I was hunting fish all day and I could see them. It was like bow hunting. And like they're so close yet they're so far away, and everything has to be just perfect to catch one. My second fish of the day that I actually landed, and it was my last cast of the day.